like it.
Of course, we have to talk about Game of Thrones. It was terrible. I mean, I didn't like it. Did you?
I
like
didn't
it?
think it was terrible, but I had way too many issues with it. Way too many.
Yeah.
I had goosebumps the size of footballs for like 30 minutes straight. It was very
It
uncomfortable.
was very intense.
But at the same time, I was making excuses for it while watching it because I'm sure everyone has seen it and said it's too dark. And I know that there's going to be excuses made. I was saying this to you earlier, that the creators are going to come out and the filmmakers and all are going to say, we wanted you to feel the intensity that the characters were feeling where they could not see anything. Yeah, but I am watching and trying to follow a show and a story, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
That was the same with me.
There was so many times where I was like, did that guy just die? Because I really feel like he died. I'm not going to give any names or anything like that, but when you watch it, you might think a character died. Don't actually invest in that feeling.
Don't worry. No one died. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it, but
it's very hard to comprehend at times.
yeah. And I had a lot of issues with the story.
You had a lot. You actually opened my eyes up more because I think I was so distracted.
Yeah.
By not like I was just squinting at the screen, and my TV is quite big. I had all the lights off. I've talked to many people who did the exact same thing. They're like, oh, obviously the curtains need to be closed.
Yeah.
No, I still can't see it. Oh, well, I'll turn off the lights. I still can't see it. I'll turn up the brightness in the TV. I still can't see it. Like,
there was so many problems with the lights. It's really terrible.
Also, it's the biggest cock tease ever when they're like, this took 60 nights to make.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest television battle of all time. And by the way, you won't be able to see any of it.
You won't be able to see any of it. 80 minutes of darkness. That's what you're going to get.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't really. I mean, we're not going to give spoilers on this.
We can't. It's too close.
Yeah, so I can't talk about all my problems I have with it, but there were a lot.
You had a lot. And honestly, you opened my eyes to a few of them. Like, I was so fixated on the visuals that I just couldn't watch it.
Now,
that pissed me off so much that I don't even think when you actually mentioned, there was a lot of stuff you mentioned that bothered me, but when you actually really went into detail, I was like, fuck, actually, you're so right. That's shit. I still like the ending more than you did, though.
So, well, the ending is divisive. I don't have a problem inherently with the ending. I have a problem with how the ending was executed.
Yes,
that's my main problem.
And I even think we cleared it up in the car driving here.
Yeah,
we actually came up with ideas of that exact same ending, but just getting there in a more understandable way.
Yeah, or more fun way, more
fun way as well. Yeah,
it's just the ending of the episode is ultimately unsatisfying. It just isn't. There's no.
Yeah, I suppose.
I just don't think it's a very satisfying conclusion to whatever the story is so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of build up to the long night, the name of the episode. You know, and however it ends, it's not that I hate it. It's just it's not satisfying, and it's not what I've come to expect of Game of Thrones.
That's the thing right there. Yeah.
In fact, I think we made the point earlier where we were like, I expect this off another TV show. This was an episode, despite all the expensive visuals and cool stuff. In terms of story, it was like a season finale of Arrow or The Flash or something.
It really was. And even at that, some of the cheesier stuff they'd be doing that in show would at least make more sense.
Totally.
Like, there was a lot of stuff we were saying about some of the characters. Like, no spoilers. Some of the best characters don't get moments in this show.
They don't.
And it hurts to watch where you're like, I want to see what him or she does. Like, I want to see...
I want to see what this she can do.
She gonna, he gonna,
she gonna fuck them. X gonna give it to you. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
I don't know anymore. X gonna give it to you.
Okay.
X gonna give it to you.
No, it's just the people that you've grown to like, and they've built you up, and like, these are the people you should care about.
And they're fighters, and they're so good. You're like, well, how are they gonna handle themselves?
And you like watching them fight.
Yeah, and we've seen them fight many times, and it's some of the best parts of the show.
And you don't get anything.
You get to see inklings of them. Like, you just see, and at that, you can't even make it out anyway.
Yeah.
There's times where I thought some of my favorite characters actually died. I actually thought they died. And then next scene, I'm like, they're still alive. Okay.
There's a real problem with cutting away from things in this episode.
So much cutting.
They cut all the fucking time. That right as things are getting interesting, they'll cut and you'll come back and the situation will have resolved itself, or they will have teleported to another area and be in the same exact situation, and then they'll cut away again, and now they're in this place, and then they stay in this place for ages and nothing really happens.
I've seen scenes where one of the characters look like they're dead, and then 10 minutes later they're actually doing fine.
And not undead either.
It's like the best accent I've ever done in my entire life.
That was very good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know it's on record.
Anyway, I have a lot of problems with the episode, but
sadly, I wanted to love it so much.
Yeah, I wanted them to do something interesting, and they didn't. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
They had a lot of potential stuff. Like, there's a lot of, no spoilers for the actual episode, but they have a lot of interesting things going in it. They have armies that are completely different in their battle style. You have like Northerners, the Unsullied, the Dothraki. You know, you have the Ironborn there with Theon and stuff like that. You have interesting fighters like Brienne and the Hound and Jamie and
the eye patch guy that I can never remember his name of.
I couldn't think of his name earlier. Beric Dondarrion.
Beric.
Yeah, you have Beric as well.
Jorah.
You have dragons at play. You have
Jon Snow.
You have Jon Snow. Yeah. You have direwolves. You know.
Oh yeah, you do as well. Yeah.
And you have loads of dead, recognizable characters that you could bring back for moments of poignancy when they're fighting the undead.
Yes.
You know? Like, I'll give one spoiler. You know, Hodor died, but wouldn't it have been great to see him as a corpse or something?
Fucking banging through the door. Can you imagine? Yeah. He's the guy that gets through the door. Like,
gets through the door, exactly. You know, that would have been cool. Yeah. That doesn't happen.
And he goes through the door.
Through the door. Yeah. He finally gets to say something.
And it's ruined.
Hodor. Do you know that guy is like a DJ?
Really?
Yeah, the guy who plays Hodor is
the
a DJ.
biggest DJ ever.
And he hosts...
Can you imagine him just hunched over? I feel like...
He's got like tattoos and everything.
Hodor break. Record again.
Hodor.
I'll use it as a toothpick.
His tour is called the Rave of Thrones. That's what his tour is called.
That is amazing.
Isn't it? And him and Bran, the actor, they're like good friends.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, obviously, because he was carrying around on his back.
Yeah, when you think about it, they've spent so much time on set together compared to, like, sure, when did Bran, or the actor who plays Bran, see Kit Harington? For like 3 or 4 seasons, they probably never even met.
Well, actually, no.
Except for like premieres and all like that.
Well, actually, there's a few episodes where they're quite close to each other. Throughout it.
Suppose, yeah, when they're at that camp.
Yeah, they're at the camp, and then there's another one where he meets John Bradley.
He's up in the tower as well.
He's up in the tower,
and he's fighting. Jon Snow's fighting the wildlings.
Yeah, and then there's the one where with Craster's Keep, where he comes back to kill the people who killed G.R. Mormont, you know. Nerd dive for you there. But yeah, it was a disappointing episode, and I suppose I am interested to see where the series goes from here.
Of course, like it's not as if I'm out completely now.
I'm not going to stop watching. I just think their storytelling, they obviously, I hope this episode was disappointing because they had such good moments planned ahead.
Yes.
That they were like, if we can get past this plot point that we don't really want to explore and we can move on to this, there's some great stuff that we can do. So I'm hoping that this was done in service of future episodes, as opposed to shit, we don't know what to do because we have this episode. So
it was such a pivotal episode, though. That's like, it was building. I know there's so many other storylines.
The first scene of episode 1 is a White Walker. You first see the White Walkers.
Is it?
That's how the show starts. Yeah, that's how the book starts as well.
Really? Yeah.
It's three Night Watch people on patrol. They find butchered wildlings and they're killed by a White Walker.
I remember that scene. Yes.
And then you're introduced to the Starks because Ned has to execute one of the guys who runs from the wall. So.
And that's where he says the man who something should swing the sword. The man who
passes the sentence must swing the sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ned was great, wasn't he, guys? Wasn't Ned great?
Nedward.
Headless Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah.